Herkese merhabalar. Connect UK World Class University Webinar serimize hoş geldiniz. Bugün sizlerle bir değerli Birleşik Krallık Üniversitemiz daha olan University of Glasgow'la birlikteyiz. Ben İmran Mehmet, British Education Bureau BEB eğitim uzmanı olarak bugün sizlerle üniversite yetkilimiz Scott Clapperton'la birlikte üniversite hakkında ve İngiltere'de, Birleşik Krallık'ta eğitimle ilgili bilgiler aktarıyor olacağız. Ben sözü yetkilimiz Scott'a bırakmadan önce çok kısa BEB'den bahsetmek isterim. Biz British Education Bureau, BEB olarak 2002 yılında Oxford'da kurulduk. Kurucularımız İngiliz ve Türk ortaklardan oluşuyor. 2002 yılından beri son 20 yıldır Ankara, İstanbul, İzmir'deki ofislerimizde öğrencilerimize danışmanlık hizmeti sağlıyoruz. Bu kapsamda uzmanlık alanımız tamamen Birleşik Krallık üniversiteleridir, Birleşik Krallık eğitim sistemidir. Başvuru süreçleri, eğitim süreçleri ve vize aşamaları gibi tüm noktalarda öğrencilerimize destek sağlıyoruz. Bu noktada Birleşik Krallık'ta toplam 130 tane devlet üniversitesi bulunmaktadır. Biz British Education Bureau olarak, BEB olarak bu 130 üniversitenin 90'ının resmi temsilciliğini yapıyoruz. Bu kapsamda da temsil ettiğimiz bütün üniversiteler için ücretsiz danışmanlık hizmetimiz bulunuyor. Ben sözü yetkilimiz Scott'a bırakıyorum. Merak ettiğiniz tüm sorular için chat box üzerinden yazılı olarak veya el kaldırma butonuyla sesli bir şekilde sunum sırasında veya sonunda bizlerle paylaşabilirsiniz. Sunum sonrasında tüm sorularınızı yanıtlıyor olacağız. Thank you very much, Scott. It's yours now.
Thank you, Imran. I'm just going to share my screen, and if you guys can let me know that you can see the presentation, okay? Can you guys see that okay?
Yes, I can.
Great. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. Really appreciate you coming along and taking the time out to learn a little bit more about the University of Glasgow. As Imran said, my name is Scott Clapperton. I'm International Officer within our International Recruitment and Partnerships team. I work primarily with Europe, but also feed into wider Europe as well with my colleague, Mark Stansfield, who usually deals with recruitment from wider Europe. I had a couple of videos to share, but I think we've tested it before and they're not working exactly. So I will skip over these and I'll look to share these with Imran after, so he can hopefully share the information with you. Just to give you a few highlights about the university. So the University of Glasgow is one of the 6 ancient universities of the UK. It was founded in 1451 and it's Scotland's second oldest institution. The 6 ancient universities in the UK are 4 Scottish institutions, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Aberdeen and St Andrews, and 2 English institutions, Oxford and Cambridge. This year, we have over 30,000 students from over 140 different countries studying with us. So we're a very international institution with a really vibrant campus influenced by a very diverse student body. In terms of ranking, we're a top 100 universities in the world, according to the Times Higher Education and QS World Rankings too. We are extremely proud of a couple of awards we've received recently. We were named THE UK University of the Year for 2020, and we were also named Scottish University of the Year for 2022. We're one of the founding members of the Russell Group, which is a group of 24 research-intensive UK universities. This is obviously important for students when they're considering universities in the UK, because what they're being taught is by world-leading academics carrying out world-leading research, which informs every level that we teach at. Also, in terms of future career prospects, they tend to be more positive, with a higher percentage of Russell Group graduates going into full-time employment upon graduating, and also starting salaries of graduates tend to be higher for Russell Group graduates than non-Russell Group graduates. Oh, sorry, skipped a few. So we have really high quality teaching and learning environment here at the University of Glasgow, and this is exemplified by our 31 subjects ranked in the top 10 in the UK by the Complete University Guide. You can go onto their website for 2022 and see all the kind of subject rankings of any particular subjects that you might be interested in studying, and see where they fit, see where those subjects rank at each institution as well. We do have 5 number 1 rankings as well in dentistry, vet medicine, food science, sports science, and social policy. So we have a vast alumni community that consists of roughly 250,000 graduates from all across the world, and obviously being an institution which is between 500 and 600 years old. We obviously had a number of notable alumni that have stretched across our existence as an institution. So to name a few historic names, we have John Logie Baird, the inventor of television; Adam Smith, the founder of modern economics, and who our business school is now named after. We've also been involved with 8 Nobel laureates, including one Nobel Prize winner this year for chemistry, David Macmillan, who was a former student at the University of Glasgow, who did win the Nobel Prize for chemistry for the development of asymmetric organocatalysts. Don't ask me to explain what it means, but yes, it's obviously to show the quality of careers that our graduates go on to have. In more recent times, a lot of our more modern alumni have been heavily involved in fields such as politics, with Scotland's current First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, being a former alumni, as well as the UK's youngest ever MP, Mary Black, both graduating from the university. So I'm aware some of you may not know a lot about Scotland as a destination or as a country as well. Scotland has been voted one of the most beautiful and is recognised as one of the most beautiful countries in the world, as done so by Rough Guides in 2019. It's obviously very well known for its beauty and lovely landscapes, and that's exemplified by the slide here in the photo in the background, which is taken at the top of Ben Ann, which is in Loch Lomond, loch meaning lake in Scottish, at one of our national parks, the Trossachs, which is just 40 minutes away from the University of Glasgow campus, which is actually situated in the city centre of Glasgow. So even though you are in a city environment, the escape or the ability to get to the countryside and see Scotland's beautiful scenery really it's very convenient to get to as well. As I said, there's a lot for students to explore and get involved with in their spare time, with outdoor activities, mountain climbs. We have kind of hill walking. You can go and experience the West Highland Way, winter sports. We have skiing in the Cairngorms National Park in the north of Scotland, and we also have Highland adventures such as the North Coast 500 driving route, which takes you around all the main points of Scotland's north coast as well. Scotland is famed for its culture. We have several museums, galleries, exhibitions available to visit, not only in Glasgow, but in a number of cities across the country: Edinburgh, Dundee, Aberdeen. Scotland is also home to the largest arts festival, the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which takes place in Edinburgh during the month of August every year. It's something really cool to experience during your time here as well. Scotland is a very historical country with some fantastic architecture, world-famous feats of engineering, landscapes, castles, and ancient attractions, such as our 2 famous castles in Edinburgh and Stirling. Scotland's not a huge country. We have a total population of 5.5 million, and with the density of our population being around the central belt of the country, which connects our 2 major cities, Glasgow, Scotland's largest city, and our capital city, Edinburgh, both which are about a 45-minute train journey apart, and are both highly accessible to get between. Yeah. Sorry. My computer's been very slow. And just to let you know a little bit more about Glasgow, obviously I'm aware some of you may know a little bit about Scotland, but might not know necessarily kind of the distincts or the idiosyncrasies of Glasgow itself. Glasgow has been ranked as one of the friendliest cities in the world, and also one of the best cities in the world to live by Rough Guides in 2019, but was also voted the world's friendliest city by Rough Guides as well in 2021. As I've mentioned, we're Scotland's largest city and the fourth largest city in the UK. We're really known for our warm welcome, being a very open and tolerant, multicultural city, and we often hear from our students how friendly the people of Glasgow are. Glasgow is a very student-centric city. We have 5 universities situated in the city, creating a great environment for students to live in. Whilst Glasgow is a post-industrial shipbuilding city historically, it is still a very green city. We have over 90 public parks and green spaces across the city that students can enjoy as well. Glasgow is a great place for music lovers. It's a UNESCO City of Music, and pre-pandemic, there would be up to over 120 live music concerts happening each week across the city. Glasgow itself is also recognised as a sporting hub for Scotland. We have national stadiums here for football that hosted Euro 2020 games this year. We also hosted the Commonwealth Games in 2014. And we have many kind of large sport arenas and abundance of sporting facilities across the city as well. Furthermore, you can see here the Hydro Arena, which is pictured, which is the 4th busiest arena venue in the world, so often hosts major events and concerts for major performing artists as well, and is also currently hosting the COP26 UN Climate Change Conference, which is happening right now and is actually ending today. So Glasgow certainly as a city as well has been in the news and is certainly relevant in today's world. So the university itself is situated in Glasgow's west end of the city. So it's a really beautiful part of the city. It's packed with cafes, bars, restaurants, vintage boutiques, and real cultural attractions such as the Kelvin Grove Art Gallery and Museum that you can see pictured on the slide here. We also have the Botanic Gardens, and we also have a number of venues for music, theatre, comedy, and also a cinema as well. So I just want to go through over our campus as a whole. As you can see here, this is a bird's eye view of our campus. So we have our main building, which is the Harry Potter-esque building, which is usually referred to by our students here. This is our main building, the George Gilbert Scott building, which is a landmark of the Glasgow skyline, and is obviously the building that you can see in the back of my picture, and is one that you will be aware of if you're aware of the University of Glasgow as well. We have a 13-floor library with over home to 2 million books in special collections, so a great resource for students whilst they're here. Another building to point out is the Fraser Building, which is home to a lot of our student-facing services and home to our international student support team as well, which is home to our team who help students whilst they're here, and also home to our visa immigration advisors as well. So really, again, another vital asset whilst students are here. And just in that little orange triangle that you can see there is where the new James McCune Smith Learning Hub has opened and is now open, and is the first part of our campus redevelopment, which I'm going to touch upon now as well. So as I said, we're currently going through a £1 billion programme of investment into redeveloping the campus and continuing to create world-class teaching, research and learning facilities available for our students on our campus. So over the next 10 years, the campus is going to see a real development of the facilities available. So it's going to be a real exciting time to join the university, obviously get access to this. As I touched upon, the James McCune Smith building is the first part of this. It's the first building of this development program to be delivered, and I was lucky to go enough to visit that earlier this year, and it's a really fantastic space and a really great asset now for our student body. It was named after the first African American student to be awarded a medical degree from the University of Glasgow, and has capacity for over 2,500 students as well. So as you can see from this slide, it's not only going to be the James McCune Smith Learning Hub that will be part of this development program. We're also going to be establishing a research hub, which will hopefully be open next year. There's been a slight delay in the dates that these things, obviously due to the pandemic and the closure that we had, and work had to stop during that phase. But you can also see here there's going to be a number of phases, and a number of our colleges and schools are going to see an improvement in their facilities, such as our School of Engineering, our College of Arts, and our Adam Smith Business School as well. So I just want to touch upon the university's relationship with Turkey in general. The University of Glasgow has a long-established relationship with Turkey, dating back to the late 18th century, with our earliest recorded student having served as a chaplain to the British Embassy in Constantinople. We have 7,000 international students from 140 countries, including 60+ students, politics students from Bill Kent University, which joined the University of Glasgow for 2 semesters during the 3rd year of their programme. We also have the Association of Turkish Alumni and Students in Scotland as well. So they provide alumni students with the opportunity for social and professional networking within Scotland and Turkey, obviously provide support to Turkish societies and universities in Scotland. And touching upon that, we have a very active student life. We have over 250 clubs and societies available, including our very own Turkish Student Society. They organise welcome events and for students from Turkey starting each year, and social events throughout the academic year as well. So again, another real great support service and great network as part of joining the University of Glasgow student body. So as one of the large ancient UK universities, we have a very wide range of programmes on offer, including 100 different undergraduate programmes, 600 joint honours, 250 top master's programmes, plus 10 research institutes across the 4 colleges with over 70 research areas. And here you can see a broad list of the subject areas that we do cover at undergraduate and postgraduate level. As touched upon, we're a collegiate structure here at Glasgow, so we have 4 colleges. Those colleges are the Colleges of Arts and Humanities, the College of Medical, Veterinary and Life Sciences, the College of Science and Engineering, and the College of Social Sciences, which includes our Adam Smith Business School. So you may be aware or may not be aware that if you've been looking at Scottish institutions for your university, that they differ slightly to what you might be used to if you're looking at other UK universities, perhaps in England, in Northern Ireland or Wales. So the Scottish degree system and structure is slightly different in the fact that our undergraduate degree is 4 years in length and not 3, which you may have thought if you are looking at other UK universities. This 4-year degree structure gives real flexibility and breadth to the knowledge that you'll learn, and obviously creates more opportunities for you as well, and gives you more the ability to study a number of subjects and really go deeper into your specializations as well as you go through it. So just want to provide you a kind of few examples of what the degree structure looks like. This is obviously very broad. They're not specific to any kind of subject area, but it just gives you an idea of what your degree structure and what your kind of education here over the 4 years would potentially look like. So in this first instance, we have a single honours programme, a Bachelor of Science in Physics, and as you can see in year 1, you would study 3 subjects: physics, chemistry, and astronomy. You get to choose a couple of additional subjects in that year one. In year two, you can continue with 2 subjects, or you can choose a different second or third subject, or remove one if you would choose to do so. And then in year 3 and year 4, year 3 you do your junior honours degree and specialise on your chosen topic. And in year 4 you do your senior honours with your final year project, again concentrating on your single honours. This is the Master of Arts or Joint Honours degree path, again just to kind of emphasise the degree of flexibility and subject range choice that you get. And this is something that's always looked as an advantage for Scottish and UK employers. They really like the breadth of knowledge that our students and our graduates get from our degrees. So here, there's a joint honours degree in business management and Spanish, where you can see that they study those in the first 2 years, the lower level courses and modules, as well as an additional subjects in history and music. In year 3, that's where they drop those and they start to specialise in both of those subjects, and then provide 1 senior honours dissertation project in business management and Spanish. And again, you'd be advised on what subject you would provide that dissertation for your 4th year. And finally, this is just to show that as part of your 4-year degree, you are able to study a semester or a year abroad as part of this, and it doesn't add on any additional time. And usually this is undertaken in your 3rd year of study within your degree. Depending on what subject you're studying will depend on what partner you're able to go to. But yeah, study abroad is available not only for our domestic students, but also for our international students who are coming in and also want to have, another international experience during their study at Glasgow. So as I mentioned, as part of the exchange programme, students can study at one of our partner universities for an academic year or a semester. Inside Europe on Erasmus Plus programmes, or outside Europe on international exchange. International exchange has limited scholarships. However, tuition is paid to Glasgow and not the visiting institution. So, if you're potentially looking at maybe want to experience the US, you could be obviously getting that experience of a US environment, but obviously saving hundreds of pounds in comparison to the US institution fees. As I said, year of exchange depends on subjects. It's usually done in your 3rd year for arts and social sciences, but for some of our sciences and for some of our science subjects in College of Science and Engineering, this would be done in 2nd year. As I said, it's not an additional year. Classes taken abroad count towards your final degree. Only modern language students would have an extra year added into their degree. So if they did a year abroad, that would then become a 5th year, a 5-year degree instead of a 4-year. As well as the exchange programme, we do offer, our colleges offer taster visits, taking groups of 1st-year students to visit partner universities in Europe. And there's also summer schools available at some of our partner universities as well. So a great amount of opportunities to go get kind of further international experience even during your time here. So just want to touch upon some of the undergraduate entry requirements. So students with and apologise the pronunciation, Anadolu Lise or Fen Lise or Lise Diplomacy may be considered for year 1 direct entry, where they've achieved 75% or above, with also 75% in some of the key or required subjects, depending on what subject you are studying. So the best source for finding entry requirements or subject requirements that you may need for one of our undergraduate programs is to go on the individual program page on our website. You'll find there what the key subjects would be that you would need, and then it would obviously just need to factor into your diplomacy. So you would need 75% overall and then 75% in those key subjects as well. So for anybody that is not doing the local Turkish high school qualification, we also can accept international qualifications such as A-levels or the IB diploma or the US curriculum as well. And A-levels and IB are listed, the exact entry criteria are listed for A-levels and IB on each one of the program pages. So again, check those out. For anybody studying the US curriculum, you can obtain any of the three following for direct entry in general. Excuse me. And again, we're test optional, so the SAT necessarily isn't required now as well. So for anybody that doesn't meet direct entry requirements through, their international qualifications or the local Turkish high school qualifications, we do have some pathway programs still available for anybody who would really still want to study at the University of Glasgow as well. So we have undergraduate foundation programs in our business and social sciences, science engineering, and our College of Arts and Humanities as well, which provides a second year. If a successful completion of that foundation program would then provide direct entry to second year of one of our undergraduate programs in those. There is some programs that we offer that will be able to provide direct entry to year two, but not all of them within those colleges. So again, it's really important to double check that, or if you want to confirm any information on those, please get in touch with myself or Imran. And at postgraduate level, we also have this opportunity where there's a pre-master's program. Again, successful completion of that would allow you direct entry onto one of our master's programs if you did not meet the initial direct entry criteria. These are just some of the English language requirements that we have. So most, if you don't have, a qualification such as A-level or IB English, then you will need to get an additional English language test such as an IELTS or the Pearson Academic Test or the TOEFL test as well. English language requirements for each program slightly differ. So again, check out the individual program the individual program page for confirmation of the exact English language requirements that you may need. And if you wanted to clarify if a certain English language certificate or test could be accepted, then again, feel free to get in contact with myself or Imran, and we can confirm that for you. And for anybody that doesn't meet the English language criteria and is unable to do so by the start of the program, but still wants to start, they can undertake our pre-sessional English language program at the university as well, which we offer. And successful completion of this, again, would provide direct progression to your degree, either undergraduate or postgraduate level. And we have varying lengths of programs, obviously depending on your English language ability. So these range from 10 to 36 weeks. And we also have a bridging program available for students who need to become familiar with the language of their course. And those bridging programs are available in accounting and finance, management, biomedical sciences, science, engineering and technology, social science, education and humanities, law, and our urban studies program as well. So how would you submit an application for one of our undergraduate programs at University of Glasgow? Now, if you're considering other UK institutions, this will probably not come as a surprise to you, but if not, then you do need to submit an application through UCAS, which is University and Colleges Application. It stands for the University and Colleges Application System, which is essentially how you would apply primarily for any UK university that you were wanting to study at an undergraduate degree for. So through UCAS, you get 5 choices for UK institutions, and you can choose up to 5 different institutions and 5 programs that you want to study. And you can track your application through UCAS Tracker, and everything is done through this one centralized system. We can also accept undergraduate applications through the Common App. So this may be if you're considering UK institutions and US institutions, but you're not sure which ones you want to go for and you want to submit applications for both. This is maybe where the Common App would be a good option for you, where you can submit to two international institutions from the same system. Please note that you can't submit an application to the University of Glasgow through both systems. So if you know that you want to go to the UK, then we'd encourage you to apply via UCAS if you can. So just to give you a kind of brief idea of application deadlines, applications for our September 2022 programs opened in September of this year. The first deadline has already passed, so anybody who was interested in studying medicine, dentistry, veterinary medicine, or Oxford, or want to study at Oxford or Cambridge, their application deadline has already passed on the 15th of October. Every other program and every other institution has an equal consideration deadline of the 26th of January, so slightly longer this year as well. And that, in order to kind of have the best chance of getting a spot on the program that you want, that is probably the date that you should be looking to apply for. International students and students not from the UK can apply for undergraduate programs up until the 30th of June. However, after the 26th of January, this is when they can start closing programs due to volumes of applications. So in order to give yourself the best chance, we'd encourage you to try and meet the 26th of January deadline if you can. So this slide just provides a detail of our tuition fees at undergraduate level confirmed for the 2022-23 year. The medicine and dentistry degrees that you can see are significantly higher than some of our other degrees, and this is students pay a fee towards the NHS, so that is why the tuition fee is much higher. 60% of our tuition fee is due up front at the beginning of the course, while the remaining of the 40% can be paid in installments and through a payment plan. I think it's 7 installments throughout the rest of the academic year. And that is the tuition fee for the first year only, that is due up front before your course begins. However, we do offer scholarships to offset some of these costs as well. We have our undergraduate excellence scholarship, which has been increased this year as well, which is great news. So last year it was only £5,000. It has now been increased to £7,000 for 2022 entry onwards. This will be awarded for each year of your study, so that's £7,000 per year of study. It's awarded on academic merit, so it's only awarded to highly qualified applicants that meet or exceed the entry requirements, and the details of what grades you would need to get to qualify for this are listed on this on the scholarship page and on the undergraduate excellence scholarship page. If you need any further information exactly what that would look like, then you can feel free to contact myself again or Imran as well to discuss exactly how you would qualify for the scholarship. There's not an additional application required, so you'll be automatically considered for that scholarship once you submit an application to the University of Glasgow. And then if you were provided an offer to the University of Glasgow and you to study with us, and you were also eligible to receive the scholarship, you should receive confirmation of that scholarship 2 weeks after your offer to study with us. So there is also some living expenses that need to be considered as part of your study here at Glasgow and in the UK, or if you're considering any institution in the UK, living expenses is something that you do need to consider. We have a very low cost of living here in Glasgow. We're the 4th most affordable student city in the UK, as voted by What Uni magazine in 2019, and we're very comparable we're very reasonable or low cost of living in comparison to some other cities in the UK, such as London, for instance. But we estimate that you will need about £1,000, just over £1,000 per month for study. Obviously, a lot of these are variable costs, and depending on what you choose to do in your free time or where you choose to stay, may change these costs slightly. However, we would anticipate that you will spend at least half of that £1,000 on accommodation, and everything else will probably change slightly outside of that. So just going on to some of our student life that we talked about, also obviously I've already mentioned our Turkish Student Society and our 250 different clubs and societies as well. We really value our student experience and our students here on campus, and they feed into our student representative council as well. And this is essentially our student government, our student voice. They make things happen, and if they want to see any change within the university, these are the students who are put in power to essentially enact that change, and these are the student voice. So you can apply to be a part of this student representative council, but you can also vote on who you want to be a part of it as well. They'll also administer all of our clubs and societies as well. So it's not only our Turkish society that we have a wide-ranging, kind of a lot of weird and wonderful clubs, aerial acrobatics, Quidditch, salsa, beekeeping, lots of variety. So we are hopeful that out of the 250, you would find at least one that would be particularly of interest. We have two student unions off campus. We have Queen Margaret Union and the Glasgow University Union. The Queen Margaret Union has actually is a really kind of historic live music venue in Glasgow as well, and has hosted bands such as Queen, Nirvana, and Coldplay in its time as well. So it's a real cool venue to have on our campus. We've also got a Glasgow University Sports Association, so provides students that stay on campus with you get a free membership to that sports association if you stay on our on-campus accommodation as well. So you get access to our swimming pool, our sports facilities, our gym facilities, exercise classes, football, rugby pitches, hockey pitches, tennis courts. So again, lots of sport facilities and lots of things to do whilst you're here as well. So just want to touch upon our accommodation. We have around 3,500 residential spaces available for undergraduate students here. I think we have 7 different undergraduate accommodation spread around our campus as well. In order to obtain accommodation, you need to apply with a conditional or unconditional offer, and you must have accepted this offer. International students are guaranteed accommodation as long as they meet that August deadline to apply. So you must apply before the August deadline in order to get yourself guaranteed accommodation. The fees vary by facilities. There's a really good resource on our accommodation website, which gives you a kind of comparison of each facility and what they offer, the cost, how close proximity it is from campus. So I'd really encourage you to go onto our accommodation website and look at that, especially if you're not sure, if you don't know the city that well. And the fees vary as well. So they start from about £550 per month, which is broken down in a weekly rate of about £120 to about £180 per month as well. We do have some shared rooms as well on campus, which start from £99 per week, but most of the rooms that we offer are private individual rooms. We also have trained pastoral staff living on site, so there's security staff, and there's also kind of students and staff that on these on our accommodation that are there for support, or if there's any issues with your accommodation, they're there to help you and fix those and resolve those. So again, another kind of great tool and resource to have whilst you're studying here. And that takes me on to our student support. At Glasgow, we're really proud of the level of support that we provide students. We were ranked 2nd in the Russell Group for our student satisfaction, and with our student experience and our student support as well. So that is really important to us, and obviously really important for yourselves when you're coming over to study at a foreign country. It's really important that you know that you're going to be supported by the university that you're going to study at. But not only do we have support in terms of our accommodation or our academic support, we also have support with our visa and immigration team from our international student support team, and they can provide that support before you arrive. Through their visa support, and they can actually do now online appointments before you arrive as well, and help you with your visa application. We also have our Ask a Student function as well before you arrive, where you can speak to our current student ambassadors as well, and they can give you real authentic opinions about the university. We have a doctor's surgery on campus for anybody that needs access to that. We have a disability service that can provide additional accommodations to any students that need additional support during their studies. You know, that's anything from extra facilities or potentially extra time in tests or specialised facilities as well. We have a career service, which is really important. The university has made a real kind of strong focus on employability now, and this has really been exemplified by the work that our career service has done. We have our own internship hub, which is where employers provide specific internship opportunities only to University of Glasgow students that are related to our degrees and to the subject areas that we work in. So that's a really great asset for students whilst they're here as well. We have our student counselling and psychological service, again, something that's been really important, especially over the last 18 months where students haven't been able to get, the interaction that they maybe have usually received whilst they've been doing some online studies. And finally, we also have a chaplaincy service that supports a number of faiths and religions, and also English language support, that anybody that needs additional assistance with their English language during their studies. Excuse me. So our virtual open days for 2022 have now passed. We are potentially going to be confirming some more virtual open days. However, the last ones for 2022 took place in October of last month. However, there is still some resources on-demand resources that you can access from our website and really get some great details and information from that resource hub as well, and via that link that's shared on the slide. On the slide, we have a virtual tour on campus. As I said, you can speak with students as well, and we are now open to some in-person visits. So on campus, we are doing campus tours now that our university is open again and students are back on campus. We are able to offer campus tours on a limited ability as well. So if anybody was in Glasgow or visiting the institution, then please do get in contact, and you wanted an official visit, then we can look to set that up for you as well. And finally, I just providing a link to our Ask a Student function, which is, as I said, a really great resource for anybody wanting to know or get a student's perspective of the university. The students on here are not coached; they're not told what to write. Everything that you get from them is authentic and 100% their own opinion and their own feedback as well. So a really good asset and resource to use whilst you're obviously considering your study and wanting to get some more information regarding university as well. And that is everything for me. I just again want to thank you all so much for coming along today, and hopefully that session has been useful. Obviously a whistle stop tour. I'm more than happy to take any questions that you may have, and also just sharing my colleague Mark, who deals primarily with applicants from Turkey, just sharing his contact details as well, who unfortunately isn't able to be here today, but is more than happy to take any questions directly from anybody that wants to contact him, as am I, and I will share my email address as well, and I will stop sharing now.
Thank you very much, Scott, for your great presentation and information. We have one question already. This is, do they accept international students for nursing course? Do you accept? You are muted now.
Excuse me. Yeah, sorry. Yes, we're able to accept international students for the nursing course. Obviously, as there are going to be placements involved in nursing through the NHS, there is slightly in terms of limited opportunities or limited capacity for international students in comparison to our domestic students. So whilst there is an opportunity for international students to study on this course, it is a limited number due to the placement that you have to do through the NHS as well. So yes, we can, but those places are going to be limited.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. We can wait for a couple of minutes. Yeah, there is one more question. Are SAT and diplomas enough for acceptance?
So yes, so we can accept the US high school diploma. SAT is accepted. Usually it needs to be supported with 2 advanced placement classes. However, if you don't, I know we've moved to being test optional. So if you don't have the SAT test, then you can apply without it. And usually you would need 3 AP classes at a grade of 4 or above. So the SAT usually needs to be supported by a US high school diploma plus some AP classes. But if you don't have the SAT, then we can accept that. We can accept APs by themselves if you have the required grades and the right amount of AP classes as well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. We can wait for a couple of minutes for further questions. What is the requirement for Turkish diploma besides Turkish diploma?
In terms, so sorry, I'm not sure.
What's required for UG courses besides Turkish diploma?
In terms of documentation and entry requirements. Mm-hmm. So obviously the English language requirement would also be needed. So you need to meet that either through an additional qualification such as A-level English or IB level English if somebody's taking an international qualification like that. Otherwise, it would need to be through a separate English language test such as IELTS. But that is what we essentially, and yeah, after that, that's what we have. If you're applying through UCAS, you'll also need to submit a personal statement, and there's some really good resources on the UCAS website about how to compose that and do your personal statement and what universities particularly look for within a personal statement as well. So yeah, so those are the main things. Obviously, when you get to the admission stage, we'll need a copy of a passport. When you're going through your visa process, you'll need kind of financial guarantees and bank statements and evidence in order for us to be able to provide what's known as a CAS document, which allows you to apply for your student visa. And again, a student visa is something that you would also need to eventually get here. But in terms of what you need to apply for the course, you need your qualification and you need your English language. However, we can still offer students who meet the academic entry requirements but don't meet the English language requirements. We can provide conditional offer based on the academic, but on the condition that they get the relevant English language qualification before they start. So you can't. So as long as you have the academic criteria or if you don't meet that yet, again you can get a conditional offer where if you're still in education and you're still awaiting some grades, we can again provide a conditional offer based on potential grades that you're going to receive as well.
Thank you very much. I'm checking the chat box. So I think we covered all the questions. Thank you so much for your great presentation once again. And you can also put your email address.
Yeah, I'm just going to type that into the box just now, and then I'll type my colleague Mark's into the chat box as well. If anybody wants to drop us a question after today, then please feel free to get in touch. More than happy to answer any questions after today.
Thank you very much once again, and we hope to see you in Turkey soon.
Yes, fingers crossed we get to see you guys soon. Thank you everyone again so much for attending.
Have a great day for you.
Great. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Teşekkür ederiz. İyi akşamlar.